Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive into the absolute chaos brewing in Los Angeles. The stakes have never been higher, and we are breaking down every explosive detail just for you. Get ready for the drama. The ink on the divorce decree is barely dry, but the blood is already boiling. Sheila stands in the center of John Finnegan's hospital office, armed with a signed legal document and a highly dangerous delusion. She believes a single slip of the tongue and a manufactured sacrifice have purchased her a golden ticket back into her son's life. She is dead wrong. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is standing at the gates, and she is about to slam them shut with apocalyptic force. But as anyone who has survived the she-devil knows, Sheila does not lose quietly. The countdown to a catastrophic family war has officially begun, and a point of no return has just been crossed. The trap is set with terrifying, surgical precision. Sheila has spent the last several days meticulously building her case, laying the groundwork for the ultimate emotional heist. She signed her divorce papers, severing her ties with Deacon Sharp in a move designed purely for maximum sympathy. She walks into Finn's office radiating a calculated vulnerability. She does not yell. She does not demand. Instead, she presents herself as a shattered, lonely woman who has given up everything for the sake of peace. She looks her son dead in the eye and delivers the ultimate manipulative strike. She tells Finn that she needs her family more than she needs anything else in her entire life. She weaponizes her own isolation, using the end of her marriage as a battering ram against Finn's heavily guarded boundaries. Every single tear that falls, every manufactured tremble in her voice is designed to break down the titanium walls Steffy has spent years building around their family. And the terrifying, undeniable truth is, her performance works. Finn hesitates. He stands there in his white coat, looking at the woman who gave birth to him, feeling the crushing, suffocating weight of her manufactured sorrow. He knows exactly what backing his mother could cost him at home. He knows the strict, non-negotiable ultimatum his wife laid down. He looks at Sheila and tells her, his voice tight with anxiety, that supporting her publicly could completely break his marriage. For a fleeting, breathless moment, it looks like Sheila has finally hit a wall she cannot talk her way through. It looks like Finn might actually hold the line and protect his wife. But Sheila has never once let a closed door stop her from getting exactly what she wants. She pivots instantly. She changes tactics with lethal, breathtaking speed. She reminds her son that little Hayes deserves grandparents on both sides, weaponizing the innocence of a child to serve her dark agenda. She twists the narrative, insisting that family is worth fighting for, that she has already sacrificed enough for their happiness. She plays her ultimate trump card, reminding Finn that she did not drag Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes through the mud when she had every single reason to do so. She paints herself as the ultimate martyr, the peaceful, evolved victim who just wants a sliver of maternal love. And then, the fatal mistake happens. The word slips from Finn's lips before he can stop it. He calls her mom. That single, loaded syllable is the exact crack in the armor Sheila has been counting on since the day she walked back into his life. The moment Finn utters that word, the power dynamic shifts permanently. Finn folds. The brilliant, capable doctor crumbles under the weight of his own misplaced empathy. He agrees to talk to his wife. He looks at the she-devil and tells her that he loves her. The two embrace in the middle of the office, holding each other as if the battle is already over. In Sheila's twisted, delusional mind, the fight is already won. She has Finn's forgiveness. She has his love. She truly believes she has already earned her spot at the family dinner table. Finn's reaction is not just a momentary lapse in judgment, it is the catastrophic culmination of his deeply ingrained savior complex. As a doctor, his entire life is dedicated to healing the broken and saving those in pain. Sheila knows this better than anyone, and she has weaponized his medical oath against him. She presents herself as the ultimate patient. She is a spiritually and emotionally broken woman whose only cure is his acceptance. Finn looks at her and does not see the monster who shot his wife and left them both for dead in a filthy alleyway. He only sees a lonely, desperate mother begging for a second chance. His inability to separate the biological reality of his mother from the psychotic reality of her actions is the exact fatal flaw Sheila is exploiting. He is completely blind to the fact that his empathy is the very weapon she will use to destroy his life. But across town, a completely different war council is taking place, and the resistance is fierce. Steffy Forrester Finnegan is never going to make this easy. She is pacing the floors of the executive office at Forrester Creations, her mind racing with terrifying, violent possibilities. She looks Ridge Forrester in the eye and tells him that the divorce is moving forward, but she knows exactly what that means. She knows Sheila wants a permanent place in Finn's life regardless of her marital status. Steffy's fear is not subtle. It is a visceral, suffocating dread that grips her by the throat. She is absolutely terrified that her husband could cave to his birth mother. She is reading the writing on the wall, and no matter how many times Finn insists he would never betray her, Steffy knows the magnetic, toxic pull Sheila has over him. She knows that Finn's compassion is his greatest weakness, and Sheila is a master at exploiting it. That simmering fear is about to detonate into a full-blown, apocalyptic confrontation. The ticking time bomb is strapped to the foundation of the cliff house, and Finn is about to light the fuse himself. When Finn walks through his front door, the air is already thick with unspoken tension. He is carrying the massive weight of his catastrophic promise to Sheila. He looks at his wife, the woman who has survived bullets and blackmail to keep their family safe, and he makes the most dangerous, foolish pitch of his entire life. He tells Steffy that it is time to consider letting Sheila back into their lives. The reaction is instantaneous and explosive. The air in the room turns to absolute ice. The temperature drops to absolute zero. Steffy does not just get angry. She erupts in a blinding, defensive, apocalyptic rage. The sheer audacity of the request sends violent, destructive shockwaves through their marriage. Steffy stares at her husband in absolute, horrified disbelief. How could he? After everything they have survived, after the blood spilled on the pavement, after the relentless terror Sheila has inflicted upon the Forrester family, Finn is actually standing in their home advocating for the devil. Steffy's response is a titanium wall. She shoots the request down with ferocious, uncompromising authority. The answer is no. Not today. Not tomorrow. Not ever. There is no negotiation. There is no compromise. There is only absolute rejection. For Steffy, this is not merely a marital disagreement. This is a visceral, terrifying flashback to the most traumatic moment of her entire existence. When Finn asks her to let Sheila in, Steffy does not hear a plea for family unity. She hears the deafening crack of the gunshot in the alleyway. She feels the phantom pain of the bullet tearing through her flesh. She remembers waking up in a hospital bed, agonizing over the thought that she might never see her children again. Finn's request is an absolute insult to her survival. It completely invalidates the relentless nightmare she has endured simply because she married him. Steffy's rage is fueled by a primal, maternal instinct to protect her cubs from a known predator. She refuses to allow the woman who tried to murder her to have access to the son she brought into this world. Her absolute refusal is not born of stubbornness, it is born of sheer, unadulterated survival instinct. Finn, blinded by his own delusion and guilt, attempts to defend his birth mother. He argues that she has changed, that she signed the papers, that she is hurting and alone. Every single word he speaks in Sheila's defense is a jagged dagger in Steffy's back. The argument rapidly escalates into a deafening screaming match, a catastrophic collision of loyalty and trauma. Steffy reminds Finn of the ultimatum. She reminds him that Sheila is a clear and present danger to their children. She draws a line in the sand so deep it threatens to swallow their entire marriage whole. Finn is forced to back down, overwhelmed by the sheer force of his wife's fury, but the damage is already done. The betrayal is out in the open, hanging in the air like toxic smoke. The trust is fractured. Now, the ultimate reckoning approaches with terrifying speed. Finn has to deliver the crushing blow to Sheila. He has to look his mother in the eye and tell her that his wife has completely shut down her access to the family. He has to deliver the flat, unequivocal rejection that Steffy demanded. And this is exactly where the situation turns lethal. Sheila has spent years convincing herself that her twisted, obsessive version of love justifies absolutely anything. She believes she has earned her redemption through her recent sacrifices. A flat rejection from her son's wife is the exact kind of insult the she-devil has never once let slide in her entire life. When Sheila hears the word no, the fragile mask of the reformed woman will slip and shatter into a million pieces. The hopeful, teary-eyed mother will vanish in an instant, replaced by the cold, calculating predator Los Angeles has feared for decades. Steffy standing in the doorway saying otherwise will not read as a boundary to Sheila. It will read as a massive, unforgivable declaration of war. Sheila will realize that playing nice gets her absolutely nowhere. She will realize that signed divorce decrees and fake smiles are completely useless against Steffy's iron will. And when Sheila realizes she cannot walk through the front door with an invitation, she starts looking for a window to smash with a brick. Expect Sheila to stop asking for permission and start aggressively scheming. The era of the peaceful, reformed Sheila is officially over. She has Finn's forgiveness now, she has his love, and in her twisted mind, that is all the justification she needs to violently eliminate the obstacles standing in her way. Steffy is the only thing keeping Sheila from her ultimate prize, and Sheila has never lost a war without a massive body count. She will pivot seamlessly from emotional manipulation to outright, ruthless sabotage. She will use every dark, sinister tactic in her extensive arsenal to tear Steffy and Finn apart. If she cannot have her son peacefully, she will rip his marriage to shreds to get to him. Sheila's immediate next moves will be calculated, stealthy, and incredibly dangerous. She will not launch a frontal assault. She is far too smart for that now. Instead, she will begin a campaign of psychological warfare designed to isolate Steffy and make her look completely unhinged to Finn. She will likely begin hovering in the shadows, orchestrating accidental run-ins with Finn where she can play the tragic, rejected victim. She will feed Finn a narrative that Steffy is cruel, unforgiving, and controlling, slowly poisoning his mind against his own wife. Every time Steffy reacts with justified anger, Sheila will use it as proof that Steffy is the aggressor. It is a brilliant, sinister gaslighting campaign, and Finn is already primed to fall for it. Sheila will turn the Cliff House into a pressure cooker of paranoia and resentment, waiting patiently for the moment the marriage finally explodes. The stakes have never been this astronomical. Steffy has survived Sheila before, and so has this family, but this time the battlefield is entirely different. The threat is not just physical. It is deeply psychological and insidious. The stakes are Finn's marriage and Hayes' future. Sheila is targeting the very foundation of their trust. She knows that every time Finn defends her, Steffy's heart breaks a little more. She knows that the harder Steffy pushes back, the more conflicted and isolated Finn becomes. Sheila is going to ruthlessly exploit that fracture until the entire Cliff House collapses around them. This is no longer a negotiation or a family disagreement. This is a brutal fight for survival. Steffy is preparing to protect her children at all costs, but she is fighting a terrifying two-front war. She is fighting one against a psychotic, relentless mother-in-law, and one against a husband who is dangerously compromised by his own blood. Finn is standing directly on a landmine, and he doesn't even realize he has already triggered the explosive. The clash between Steffy's fierce, maternal protection and Sheila's relentless, toxic obsession is going to shake the Forrester and Finnegan families to their absolute core. The battle lines are drawn, the weapons are loaded, and the fallout will be absolutely devastating. Will Sheila's twisted war completely destroy Finn and Steffy's marriage, or will Steffy eliminate the she-devil for good? Drop your theories below and subscribe for the next explosive update.